President of the Economic and Social Council, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. It is a great pleasure to join you at the United Nations High-Level Political Forum. Whatever and whenever the UN convenes, the impact of the work done by this institution reaches far beyond its meeting rooms. It reverberates across the world. This is because the United Nations matters. It has mattered throughout its 76-year history, with the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia standing alongside, shoulder to shoulder, since inception. Today, the UN matters more than ever, as we build back from a pandemic that has sorely tested the agility and stability of the very institutions on which we rely. And in the days, months, and years ahead, our institutions and our governments are about to be tested further. Several complex challenges are knocking at our door. Inflation has returned, supply chains have been disrupted like never before, the pandemic exposed the holes in our global healthcare infrastructure, climate change has fundamentally changed the way we live and work, and more recently, how we think about pragmatic policy. Green finance and ESG investing are proving to be an integral force in reshaping global financial markets. The poverty gap is widening, and access to education is not improving fast enough. Together, these trends will define the future socioeconomic landscape. They will determine the state of the world we live for future generations. For many, overcoming these multifaceted challenges might seem daunting. But if we can look at these challenges together by joining forces, if we can combine our knowledge, and if we can find common ground, we will see that there are new horizons to be found on the road ahead. If we can show agility in the face of adversity, we will discover that there is resilience in coordinated action. There is opportunity in collaborative innovation. Ladies and gentlemen, by uniting as one connected international community of responsible global citizens, we can coordinate an inclusive response to our greatest challenges. By taking collective responsibility, we can turn the wheels of sustainable development in the right direction. This must be our duty. In Saudi Arabia, we see it as our duty to ensure that sustainable development is the heartbeat of our evolving economy, under Vision 2030. In the Kingdom, we recently established the Sustainable Development Steering Committee. This new committee includes 18 government entities who are tasked with overseeing the implementation of the SDGs in the Kingdom. The committee's goals is to mainstream the thinking around SDGs into policymaking, improve Saudi Arabia's economic performance and social development, and enhance our local capabilities and knowledge. Last month, Saudi Arabia's Ministry of Economy and Planning signed the UN Sustainable Development Cooperation Framework 22-26 to further elevate our partnership with the United Nations to deliver sustainable development progress across the Kingdom. The Kingdom's continued work in this space makes our position clear. Sustainable development is fundamental to our shared prosperity. But we are acutely aware that there is much more to be done. In fact, the areas of focus for this year's high-level political forum, education, gender equality, life below water, life on land, and partnerships to achieve the goals, show us how far we have come and how far we have left to go. When it comes to SDG 4, with almost 40% of Saudi's population under the age of 25, we recognize the immense potential of our future workforce, our future energy. To unleash this potential, we must invest in our youth. To date, through a string of major investments across the country, Saudi Arabia has opened up new and innovative education pathways to ensure continuous access to quality education throughout the Kingdom, even during the pandemic. Indeed, Saudi's government expenditure on education reached 19% of total government spending in 2022, representing the highest percentage among all Gulf Cooperation Council states, and that's not counting the recently approved scholarship programs. When it comes to SDG 5, gender equality, the government of Saudi Arabia had targeted a female labor participation rate of 30% by 2030 under the vision. Just 6 years into the vision, we have already surpassed this target, showing that we are not only on track, but ahead of schedule on crucial socioeconomic matters. Furthermore, women in leadership are being supported like never before to lead the charge in the public and private sector. Most recently, His Majesty King Salman appointed the first female Deputy Secretary General of the Council of Ministers. But we are never content to rest on our laurels when it comes to human development. There is more to be done in this space, and we will continue working for progress under this SDG. When we look at life below the water, Saudi Arabia has more than 2,000 kilometers of coastline, rich in coral reefs which provide the habitat to marine life. Preserving our biodiversity is critical to our future. As our aquaculture sector continues to increase its production volumes and expands its impact on our economic development, we are proactively seeking alternative sustainable sources of water production and ways to protect marine biodiversity and water resources. Back on land, the Saudi Green Initiative was launched to protect and preserve our natural environment, meeting the demands of SDG 15, among other sustainable development goals. Under the Saudi Green Initiative, we are aiming to plant 10 billion trees locally and 40 billion trees across the Middle East under the Middle East Green Initiative, which is also spearheaded by the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. We're also looking to increase the number of protected areas to more than 30% of total land area and reduce carbon emissions by 278 million tons per annum of carbon dioxide equivalent, which is more than double our previous ambition. Ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, Saudi Arabia is driving tremendous progress across each sustainable development metric. Our continued progress will be further enhanced and accelerated through the vehicle of our partnerships, as SDG 17 calls for. By working together, we can become more agile, grow more resilient, and create new opportunities to share our knowledge and collaborate with our partners to find joint solutions to our greatest challenges. By working together, ladies and gentlemen, we can unlock the full potential of every community, every economy, and every country on our shared planet. In Saudi Arabia, we remain determined to continue working closely with the international community. We remain determined to proactively contribute to achieving our shared global goals, because we recognize that no one nation will develop sustainably until all nations are enabled to develop sustainably. And we recognize that we are stronger when we work together, that we are greater than the sum of our parts. Thank you.